The term indigo children describes a group of souls that are returning to the earth in large numbers. Their aura is colored indigo, the color between deep purple and blue that is associated with the sixth chakra energy vortex or third eye. Like the color of the aura, indigos are connected to the highest spiritual endeavors. Some people even claim that they were sent to earth or evolved on earth as a bridge between humanity and spirit. It has long been prophesied that a unique generation of psychic and gifted children would be born to heal and change the world. Edgar Cayce, known as the Sleeping Prophet, born 1877, passed away 1945, and the most documented psychic of all time. He predicted that these very special children, or root children, would be born with the characteristics of the new age that we are experiencing. Their healing abilities will reveal itself in humanity to raise our cosmic consciousness. Everything in our world is changing and shifting. New paradigms are replacing old ones at light speed. Fed by our amazing new technology, our planet is once again on the cusp of changes in human understanding. Everything is sped up on spiritual development, scientific discoveries, social decay, and material perceptions. It is easy to get confused and off balance, and often the indigos have a tough time figuring out their role in this world. So how do you recognize an indigo child? Do you think you may be an indigo child? Do you think you are one? 5 common characteristics of indigo children. There is very little that is commonplace about the indigo spirit. This race of beings has also been called starseeds, crystal children. Although they are sometimes misdiagnosed and misunderstood, the indigos are very gifted souls. Number 1, old souls. Every indigo child has evolved over many lifetimes. It is this old soul evolution that has given them vision and developed their gifts. Whether the indigo child recognizes their talents and abilities or not, they certainly have them. Even though they are hybrid spiritually, they still have learned their unique connection to spirit. Regardless of their human issues, ADHD, sensitivity, etc., they are old souls. Keep in mind that when an old soul develops addictions, depression, or other behaviors, they are usually healed early in their physical life. They are overall quick healers. Sometimes their trials and tribulations can be used to help others to heal. It is sometimes said that indigos, souls, come from other planets and have migrated to Earth over thousands of years to share healing and love. Many great visionaries and spiritual teachers have been indigos. Each indigo has an individual purpose, and each of them will try to help the world grow and evolve in one way or another. They are not saints, and they often have a difficult journey on Earth, but each of them is gifted. They're here for a higher purpose, and usually they connect with this calling by the time they reach adulthood. Number 2, rule breakers and rebels. All indigos are hardwired to break with tradition. They do not accept the authority by society's accepted standards. After all, they are here to break the rules and rewrite the rule book. When they are very young, they often show an open contempt for parents, teachers, doctors, and other authority figures. They have a deep belief that no one is above anyone else. Some are quieter and more passive, and other indigos are downright rebellious. As they grow into adults, you can find them carrying signs of protests, arguing in court, developing fantastic new software, or doing breakthrough medical research. Handle them with care. You may have to do a lot of explaining to the indigo child to keep them in check. Please explain to them why you can't feed the animals at the zoo, or why you can't drive 100 miles an hour in a school zone. Tell them about actions and consequences they need to understand when they are young. They may be here to break down walls and shatter old structures, but it is a whole lot easier if they understand what rules and laws are here to protect us. They need to learn what battles seriously need to be fought for the good of everyone. If they're going to be in charge of the revolution, give them the facts early so they don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. There may be reasons that some rules exist. Indigo children ask a lot of questions. They need answers. They also need good teachers. They should have a good education. Their parents may need more than a little patience. The indigo child is the best and the brightest among us, but they should be nurtured, respected, and encouraged. Number 3, the reconnection. The indigos need to reconnect with other indigos. Not only is there power in the merging of their soul energy, they need to reconnect with others like themselves so that they can understand their true nature and purpose. When indigos connect, they don't feel so alone. They open up to their higher calling and lose their resentments and fears. The funny thing about these souls is that when they are alone, they can appear hyperactive and depressed. When they connect with other indigos, the energy elevates and turns very positive. It is the process of reconnecting with other beings just like them that motivates and activates the highest abilities that otherwise may be dormant. The reconnection wakes them up to who they are. When the indigo child has not reconnected with other indigos, they often gravitate to older people. If an indigo has not yet reconnected with their peer group, other indigos, they will be loners. They may feel that loneliness acutely, but at some time in their lives, they will be getting the opportunity to reunite with their soul group. The old souls, in the form of the indigo children, will be drawn together by the cosmic magnet that pulls at them constantly. Number 4, loving healers. Indigos are intense, loving people. They tend to develop an unconditional love attitude. There is no other love quite like indigo love. The interesting thing about indigos is that they are often troubled as young children. If they survive the difficulties, they use their healing, understanding, and renewal to share and heal. Often the healing aptitude is part of the talents and abilities they have. Indigos have quantum psychic energy and power that may remain dormant for long periods of time. Remember that their spiritual color is that deep purple, and they are closely associated with the PSI abilities of the third eye. Indigos of all ages are intuitive. Sometimes they learn young to be guided by their abilities and their instincts. Number 5, multitalented. In some respects, indigos have it all. They are psychic, creative, and powerful. They are born to recognize joy, so most of them experience early crisis, then try to get a lot done. They are artists, healers, spiritual conduits, and great communicators. The truth is that many indigos are geniuses. Sometimes they go through stages where they are troubled or confused, usually as children. However, most of them make it through and turn into successful adults. Their success may not always be measured by the world's standards. Many of them are vegans or vegetarians. They usually meditate, even if it's a unique type of meditation that they develop themselves. They are sensitive to environmental issues. They mostly have a creative and spiritual nature. Many indigos have a quicker than average internal energy. They are almost kinetic. Whether the indigo has awakened to their abilities or not, they are intuitive, psychic people. Many display these traits from a young age. They are empathic, clear channels. This is why they are here. It may not always be an easy road to that clarity, so love them back and guide them well. It is truly when we understand ourselves that these things begin to change. Whether you know an indigo child or you think you are one, the goal is to understand. Love the indigos without judging them. In a special irony, when we understand the nature of the indigo children, we truly understand ourselves. Accept them as you find them. Perhaps they are changing the world into something more beautiful through the power of love. Don't try to change them. After all, they may be here to change you.